What's up, everybody? Another day of push and record and talking to y'all. And today we're talking about how I got into cryptocurrency. Right now, I feel like is a moment where it's starting to bubble up again. It's one of those things where like cryptocurrency comes in cycles. They've said typically in the past, but I have had a really interesting relationship with investing in it. But at the moment, it's currently one of the biggest investments I have. And I just kind of wanted to talk about it today. If you're kind of interested in getting into it now, or if you're in it right now, like we can have some discussions about where my head's at with it all. But let's give you some history of how I got started investing in cryptocurrency. And it really was, I think, like back, man, it would probably been like 6 years ago or so. But this was like a bull run was happening with cryptocurrency. It's not even at the level where it's at right now, but essentially my friends were making money off of investing in Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I was kind of getting that FOMO. This is like really early on where I didn't know anything about investing or what to do with my money. I just knew that like I wanted to learn and get into it. And obviously people are making money. You don't understand it and all this stuff. So I got Coinbase and I put 150 bucks into Ethereum. And of course, when I put it in, I was doing the FOMO. It was right at the top. This is where a lot of people get into investing, make this mistake. But you see everybody else, it's in the news and all that stuff. And by that time, it's already too late. You have already missed like your opportunities probably. So they say. But so my money went down and I was like, man, forget this crypto stuff. Like, I'm not gonna worry about it. But it was interesting because like about maybe 3 years later, it started bubbling up. You'll start seeing videos on YouTube and people talking about it again. It's in the news. And I saw Coinbase, my Coinbase it was like, the last time I saw it was like 30 bucks, 40 bucks. And then all of a sudden, a couple years later, I was like, let me check my Coinbase. And it ended up being like at like 250. And I was like, oh, okay. So that was probably my first lesson of like long-term investment on how something could be down and actually in the future be up. And you're like, oh, wow. So that was an indicator for me. This is now a second bull run that might be starting to happen in my investing journey with crypto. And I was like, well, Robinhood is starting to become popular. I was like, this is easy for investing and it's now available on Robinhood. I was like, let me just move like my Ethereum investment, start doing it instead of Robinhood, instead of Coinbase, since all my other like brokerage stuff was in there and growing. So at this time, I'm like gotten into investing in stocks and stuff. And I'm like, well, we'll keep it all together. And I started putting like thousands of dollars at a time. Like, I had chunks of money, $1,000, I'd put it in Ethereum, maybe 2,000 at a time. And that's kind of how I did it. Like I would just put chunks in at a time. This is when Ethereum was at 1,200 to 1,400, where it stayed for a long time throughout the years. It would come back to that price and stuff. So to see it now like at all-time highs and almost at like $5,000 in Ethereum is kind of crazy. And so over the last couple years of investing, dollar cost averaging and all that stuff, I have accumulated over 10 Ethereum. Just recently, I took some of that money out to like distribute to SPY and SCHD just to like stabilize my money a little bit. I've been trying to understand diversifying where a lot of my money is not just in one thing. And I feel like being able to take some money out and put it into something stable like the S&P 500 is smart, because you still have like, coverage in different areas and stuff. But I think, what I'm starting to hear about Ethereum and the future of it, I think I might continue to hold on to it. When I first bought Ethereum, this was years ago. They were saying it could get to 10,000 that year, 10,000 per Ethereum, and this is like in 2020, 21 or something. And so I was like, oh, well, if it's going to get up to 10,000, it's at 1,200 right now. I can 10x my money. But it hasn't gotten there over the years, but it has done some crazy stuff. And now they are talking about it again, possibly getting up to there. But not even that. They're talking about like in the next 10 to 15 years, it being 50x at where it's at right now. So if I never put another dollar into Ethereum and I just kept it in there and it does 50x, your boy's looking at like millions of dollars. So that's just like how the power of investing in something like that. And I picked Ethereum because everybody was already talking about Bitcoin. I was seeing it like follow the same thing. So my logic was like, if the charts look similar, I might as well get in at this lower price of what Ethereum is. And I took a bet. Like, it really wasn't anything educated. To this day, I still don't understand Ethereum probably the way I'm invested in it. I should. But you know, I do watch a lot of videos about it, and I do believe, you know, the adoption of Ethereum and how it's going to possibly change how business is run and money is run in America. So I am still continuing to invest dollar cost average into Ethereum. And it's not even a lot. Like, it's like $20 a week or something like that. But you'll be surprised at how much accumulates over time when you dollar cost average. So just, I mean, you could look at the price of Ethereum right now, and to have like 10 Ethereum is kind of crazy. I have people that look at my stuff and they're like, man, it's crazy because like I could take the money out right now and that could make a difference in my life right now, and I'm still holding because I'd rather live off of like, because I try to live below my means. I'd rather live off of, you know, what I make and try to not spend a lot and continue to save and invest. And this is just one investment. The reason why I don't go crazy investing in putting thousands into Ethereum anymore is because you got to diversify. And I'd rather put thousands into my Roth IRA because I will have to eventually pay taxes on whatever, you know, happens with Ethereum. But another cool thing that recently I think is another good reason why people are going to want to invest in Ethereum, it's going to continue to grow, is like it's a yielding asset. Meaning, so to put it into an example, you put your money into a high yield savings account, you're getting 3.8%. Now Ethereum, not only are you getting major returns on your investment, but you can stake your Ethereum. So you're getting what, like 2.8 they say return on just being staked with your Ethereum. That means you're not touching it. So you're getting the investment and you're getting the stake yield. And it's cool to see like, oh, you got $50, like 2 weeks later it's another $50, like just for having your Ethereum staked. Now I could have a lot more by staking all my Ethereum. I only stake half of it. You know, I'm using ChatGPT to be like my financial advisor and make money moves and diversify and reallocate things. But it's suggested I only stake half of it because really Ethereum, my investment in it is been kind of like a second emergency fund. So I want to be able to pull money out if I ever need to. And if it's all staked, it's going to take money to unstake, or it's going to take time to unstake it. And I'd want to be able to pull money out, like have that, at least half of them, in case I ever needed it. So that's kind of my logic. But, you know, when it gets into like investing, if you're going to invest in stuff like Bitcoin or Ethereum, I would recommend just not even, you know, my thing when I get into an investment, I put it like maybe $1,000 into it just because I like to see a substantial amount in there at one time. But just dollar cost average into the market, like just dollar cost average into Ethereum over time. I mean, I know you're going to be like, I'm going to miss out on like crazy move. It's just not worth it because it will crash and it will go up. Like that's the thing about any market. It does this. So, it doesn't matter when you buy. I mean, it does, but like get into the mode of just buying all the time. That's what I've done. That's what has gotten me. Like, I really can't believe that I have this type of financial stability. And it doesn't feel like it sometimes, but I really do not have to worry about stuff besides what I worry about is not being able to contribute right now. So I have more time in my investments, you know. So that's where, you know, spending less, trying to make more, side hustles, whatever it is that you can do to spend less, make more, invest more, save more. That's where we're at right now. I haven't gotten into investing in Bitcoin because I kind of just hedged my bet on Ethereum, but I had gotten into Dogecoin. I wish I had not listened to a buddy. He kind of was like, Dogecoin is not going to do anything. But this is before Dogecoin was even, it was like 0.00004 or something like that. And I put like $1,000 into it, and eventually it blew up to like 14 cents or something like that. And I would have made a lot of money. But I ended up taking out of it because I was listening to other people. And this is why you have to do your own research on things. You can't listen. And he's a smart person. He just didn't know anything about Dogecoin. And I had done like a little bit of edge research on what was happening with Dogecoin. And I made my bet on it. And then I let someone talk me out of it. So that's why it's always important not even to listen to me, a random guy on YouTube, like about this stuff, because I'm not a financial advisor. I've only made these money moves. Any moves I make and I'm talking about on YouTube is stuff that I've done that maybe if you tried could help you out too. And I really do preach dollar cost averaging when you're getting into investing, because literally it's kind of the foundation of everything in life. You got to dollar cost average into everything. And I just realized I'm looking at myself in the screen and not like right here the whole time. So if I'm going back and forth, my bad. I'm going to try to get better about just looking at the camera. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens with all this crypto. I'm not trying to get overly excited. I'm just going to try to continue to dollar cost average into it and try to stay out of touching it so it stays in the market longer, and I can see how time with this, like, it's just like Ethereum is at this crazy point in life. They're comparing it to gold in the 70s. So I'm excited to see where it goes. I have patience. You should have patience too. And that's the only way, because you're going to put money in. Like, for example, I have a video from probably about 2 months ago of me starting to put $20 a week into VOO. And right now it's about like $160 that I've invested into VOO, and it's returned $6. So it's at $166. Now, if I sat there and be like, oh, $6, wow, look what I've done. But it's really just showing me that over time it's going to make money. Like, it's already made money right now. Like, there's no trick about it. It's just dollar cost average, $20 a week. You're gonna make money, and the longer you keep your money in there, the more you're gonna have. And so the longer you can live without that money outside of that, that's how wealth gets built. When you're growing money and you don't even need it. So that's what I'm preaching here. That's all I got about it. Be safe when you're getting into any type of investment. Not saying to get into Ethereum, but I'm invested and I wanted to be transparent about that. So yeah, if you made it this far in the video, you are awesome. You're the best. This is who I do it for, you. Leave a comment. Let me know you made it this far in the video. Also, let me know, like, what are you investing in crypto? What do you think about it all? Are you investing? What do you think about my strategies? And also, if you have any other topics you'd want me to talk about, let me know in the comments. I'm always trying to look for new ideas. So also, my name is Sai. I'm an actor, creative director, and daily YouTuber. And I help creatives like yourself take what you love and turn it into something real and build a life that actually works. So if this video brought you value, like it, smash that thumbs up button, hit that notification bell, subscribe so you can get notified whenever my videos drop. I drop one every day, but who knows what time. Usually it's around like midday, but you know, so, you know, I'm just trying to give advice for you guys out here in the car right now, waiting on something I got going on during my lunch break, but I figured I'd do my video in the car so I didn't miss it. And join my school community. It's free. Looking for another member, a Rockstar member who wants to work with me. I'm not asking for anything besides just participation, and we are talking to each other in there weekly. So I'm gonna try to start growing more and more as more people join. But if you think you're like, damn, I want to work with that guy Sire, just pick his brain more and learn more about YouTube, learn more about investing, learn more about life. That's what I'm here for. This is what I'm trying to do with you guys. So hit that up. And also check out the links in the description for the books I'd be reading. I think they're super helpful for, you know, how I've gotten to grow with my money and in life with like self-growth and all that. So check those out. And it helps me out too. I get a little kickback on those if you get the books. So, and yeah, YouTube is popping up these videos on your screen suggesting you're going to really like them. And I know you will. All right, guys. You're just getting started. You're not behind. So let's build this life on purpose. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.